The coronavirus pandemic has impacted all aspects of human life in a measure yet unknown, but will perhaps unfold after normalcy returns. One aspect of life hard hit by the global spread of COVID-19 is that of tourism and hospitality. Adventures and excitement have become a luxury, leading to a suspension of activities in this key sector that contributes 10% of global GDP. In the light of this current reality, practitioners may be down but are certainly not out. As a result, today's edition of TRAVELOGUE is a summary of a recent interaction between practitioners and the Lagos State Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture.
The President of Federation of Tourism Association, Lagos State Chapter, the Coordinator, Mr. Benga Dauda, and all other head of agencies and associations in tourism sector, you are all welcome. We appreciate you. The Director in the Ministry, Mrs. Oni, the PAOs, all the medias, I welcome you all to this meeting. It gives me great pleasure and joy to welcome our guests and partners in progress to this very crucial and important meeting, holding at this very peculiar time in our dear state. It is worthy of note that this meeting had initially been slated to hold earlier in March before the news of the index case of COVID-19 in Lagos State. This development made the ministry to suspend the meeting as well as all other activities temporarily. However, the experience gathered during the period of this pandemic, which had obviously affected this sector more, made it more compelling to hold this meeting at this time while also keeping to the social distance directive of the state government. As you are all aware, this is my first time of meeting with the executives of Tourism Association of Lagos State. This shows that this sector is not only critical to the survival of this ministry, but also underscore the importance which the state government attaches to your operations. Without dwelling on rhetorics, the whole essence of this meeting is for us as government to develop a more coordinated relationship with you and all your members in order to engender a win-win situation. Let me first and foremost extend the warm greetings and appreciation of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, for your teaching support and commitment since the beginning of the pandemic, despite its effect on your businesses and means of livelihood.
As part of its Greater Lagos initiative, the Sanwo-Olu administration is committed to making Lagos a choice destination for tourists. This was government's disposition before the pandemic and remains so in spite of the present public health crisis. The main strategy central to achieving the Greater Lagos initiative is infrastructure development to attract investment. Tourism practitioners, some of whom comprise hoteliers and owners of entertainment outfits, have been adversely affected by the closure of their businesses. They have therefore come to seek government support in the area of waivers and tax relief. This major factor necessitated the meeting, which also had in attendance members of the National Association of Nigeria Travel Agencies, the Association of Tourism Operators, NATOP, and the Federation of Tourism Associations of Nigeria, Ftan.
I want to ask that Mr. Governor should also equally consider that food chains and restaurants, can operate sit down as well as pick up and delivery services while observing appropriate social distancing and of course with hygienic protocol. Of course, there's no saying about it. We are not going to plead for any night activities. Of course, the nightclubs can remain closed. We also want to say fourthly that the drinking bars can operate just like Han representative has said. The drinking bars can operate while observing appropriate social distancing and hygiene protocols.
We also want to appeal to Lagos State because most of the tourism practitioner offices are here in Lagos. So and Lagos State has been awesome. I mean, in terms of support for members of the industry. But never more than never, as I said, is now the time for us to get as much as we can encouragement from the state in whatever way, across board.
Can we be specific? What kind of support are we looking at?
Okay, financial support. We can't run away from that because whatever it is that people need to pay, I mean, salaries have to pay, some other things have to be paid. And whatever support, every industry has every particular industry under the tourism chain has their specific wants and needs.
It's just to promote the business of tourism. We promote destinations, we look at the offerings Lagos State has, we try to advise on things we believe would be of value to tourists, and then we suggest that to Lagos State government and see how Lagos State government can use that to grow its states, get people more engaged. Tourism, as we say, is very varied, it's very wide. And tour operation is just one aspect of tourism. Even within tour operation, we have a little more segments. We have more segments of tour operation. So for us in tour operation, as tour operators, how does COVID affect us? And where do we need Lagos State to come in to support us? Most of us right now, as we all know, tourism, if I may use that word, is at its lowest ebb. There are no tourists, and all tourist destinations are closed. So the tour operators are out of business.
So our plea is that yes, we're ready to comply with whatever regulation, but Mr. Governor should please look at a way of easing some of this lockdown on us. Yes, we virtually on daily basis, I issue statements to our members that we should please be patient, sure government is looking into our case, and when they got to know that I will be here today, seriously we will help. So our plea now, we want you to look at a way of easing this lockdown on us. Our bars, we're ready to close, particularly those of us that have large bars, big bars, gathering areas. We're asking you to please look at the room aspects.
We wouldn't mind a set of guidelines for the hotel or the hospitality industry specifically for us to follow so that our businesses can resume. And then a second look at the regulatory charges. For example, the safety commission, as our parent ministry, we are just urging that you see what you can do to assist us in those areas. But at least, if you don't mind, we want to appeal to you to help us, please. Tell Mr. Governor that we will observe every lay down as we have been observing now with this lockdown. Please, you can't enter any of our restaurants without the adequate security checks in place, the thermometer check, the hand sanitizer, the hand washing, and the rest of that. We would seriously appreciate if they can allow us to have maximum of 15, both staff and customers at a go in our various outlets. At a go. And we won't exceed probably 10-15 minutes. That is one. We won't allow the customers to exceed more than 15 minutes. That is one.
By the end of this pandemic, we know travel is never going to be the same thing again. A lot of people won't want to travel out of Nigeria. So we are looking at this more aware because we have a lot of destinations within Lagos alone, talk less of Nigeria. What we are doing in Malta now, there is what we call tourism challenge that was sent out to all our members. we want them to send a video or maybe like 2-minute video of tourist destination around, within their state. So that at least we can look at it, collate it, and we can sell. So that at least we don't really have to go out of Nigeria to have fun. We can do it right here in Nigeria. So
I'll just make some suggestions because everybody has spoken, and that is spoke whatever we want to talk about. From Lagos, from Ekpe to Badagry, you can access those areas by water. So our boat business, that's aquatic tourism, water transport. Without transport, there's no tourism. Tourists cannot get to any destination without transportation. Lagos State is so blessed with water. So there are so many villages on the way from Lagos to Ekpe or from Lagos to Badagry. I think the State Ministry of Tourism, I always say that Ministry of Tourism is the master plan of the state, if they like it or not. When people say government has no business in business, I smile and laugh and say they are joking. When Kuru came and government said stop operations, everybody stopped. That means government is the owner of the business. And no father, no woman, no mother will not want his child to grow. So what I'm saying in the sense that the government, the Ministry of Tourism need to try and put those villages on the maps as per signs. This is this village. Because I have a beach resort. There are so many beach resorts on the water as well. So, but people doesn't know. Just about 4 days ago, a family came, they called us on the phone and came to use our boat to Takwa Bay. We have Takwa Bay, we have Agaja, there's so many beaches. These people does not know them. And my chairman of the state said, when I'm here, which is only know what I'm talking about, our boat and all that. So, when I'm here, I should tell you, if you need a boat to take you, SA, whoever, maximum of 20, we are prepared to provide our boat to take you on the waterways all the way to Badagry to see how God blessed Lagos State.
The State Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Uzamat Akimbile Yusuf, pointed out that the pandemic had posed a great challenge to all sectors.
Nobody ever planned for this. We never prepared for it. Nobody sees it coming. But here we are today. It has come and we are not. The situation is a sad one. It's a sad moment. But despite that, we give God the glory. If we see what is happening in the Europe and North America, we know that we are still very, very lucky. But we shouldn't take it for granted. We shouldn't take our opportunity for granted. On daily basis, people are dying per second out there. But because of the situation which we are today, that is why we are coming to the table and say, let's do this, let's do that to relieve ourselves. I'm sure whoever that lost a relative, a brother, sister, cousin, far or near to this pandemic will not be thinking of business. All we'll be thinking of is life after pandemic. Let me just pray to God that I'm being spared and let me live and tell the story of COVID-19.
Coordinator of Ftan in Lagos State, Benga Sumonu, thanked the state government for carrying them along in its decisions since the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Mr. Governor, my permanent secretaries, directors, and my stakeholders, you are once again welcome to this stakeholders meeting. I would like to start first and foremost by appreciating the efforts of the ministry to have this meeting today and feel the pulse of the stakeholders. Unarguably, this industry is most hit with this pandemic, COVID-19. We will agree that as it is, with the border closure, with the suspension of all activities in hotels, event centers, conferences, and the rest, our businesses have been paralyzed. And that not only affects the hospitality industry, it also affects the travel trades, the tourism trades, the aviation trades, and all allied industries associated with this industry. Hence, this has necessitated us to call request with the ministry asking us for this meeting. You will all agree with me that this industry is also one of the frontline industry that should be in the forefront to support the efforts of Mr. Governor. And as such, and like I said in our first meeting with the Honorable Commissioner, we have given awards that the industry, we as stakeholders, will be ready to give all the support to dissolve or to contain the spread and eventually wipe out the COVID-19 pandemic in Lagos State and Nigeria as a whole.
And for his part, Special Advisor to Governor Sanwo-Olu on Tourism, Solomon Bono, said the government was considering reordering the year 2020 budget in line with the current challenges occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic.
You have to plead with you people that yes, we know that this thing is affecting your business. You have to look the other side of it, the effect on states. You are not praying for anything bad to happen. If any COVID-19 patient enter any hotel and die there, that hotel, the stigmatization will be there for life, and it will affect that business. So, for us to tell Mr. Governor to relax on hotels and restaurants, please let us just look into it critically. We know that your business is being affected, but we look for a way towards that. So I thank you all for coming, and I thank you for all your suggestions and comments. We surely look into it. Thank you. God bless you.
Stakeholders meeting today. Before now, we have met our officers for Lagos State. We are here to meet the commissioner, and which is the result of what we had today is the outcome of the meeting that we had with the commissioner. Now, what we're talking about, what we've just discussed here, is the symbiotic relationship with which we should have, with which Lagos State government should have with stakeholders in culture and tourism. Well, most of our associations that are here present, NATOP, Agbuatan, Anjet, Art1, Han, about 9 of us, we are all here. And we've really discussed very well on the way forward. And the Commissioner really assured us that the post-COVID committee, that they will ensure that they take from every member's association. All members' association will be part of all the committees that Lagos State is going to set up from next week.
Yeah, this is the stakeholders meeting with all the stakeholders in the tourism sector, especially the National Federation of Tourism in Nigeria, Ftan, just to see the way forward with this pandemic and post-pandemic. We are here to make suggestions to add value to the business, because the business is one of the worst hit business with this pandemic. All the hotels have been closed, no tourism activities, no lounge, no entertainment in the world as at present, and we cannot leave them with that problem. So as government, we'll come together to have discussion and how best we can alleviate their suffering during this pandemic.
And from us on Travelogue, we advise, stay safe and travel later.